Ever get the feeling you've been cheated?
I promise teach karate. That's my part. You promise learn. I say you do. No question. That's your part. Deal?
Steel?
Yes. First wash all the car. Then wax. Wax.
But what do I have to wash all the car?
Remember deal. No question.
Yeah, but
Right. Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in through nose, out the mouth.
In this 80s classic, a 17-year-old Daniel LaRusso and his mother move from Newark, New Jersey, to California. Daniel befriends Allie, a high school cheerleader, which brings him into conflict with her arrogant ex-boyfriend Johnny, the top student from the Cobra Kai dojo, where he studies an aggressive form of karate. Johnny and his Cobra Kai gang continually bully Daniel until the handyman from Daniel's building, who just happens to be a martial arts master, Mr. Miyagi, agrees to teach him a different form of karate. This ends in a clash of styles at the All Valley tournament, where we will find out who's the best around. This 80s classic still oozes charm and is responsible for the second wave of interest in martial arts in the West after the tsunami of Bruce Lee in the 1970s. John G. Avildsen is perhaps best known for directing Rocky, which earned him an Oscar for Best Director. Avildsen was reluctant to direct The Karate Kid because of the film's similarity with Rocky, but thankfully he was finally persuaded. Robert Kamen was approached to write a film similar to Avildsen's previous success, Rocky. The Karate Kid is a semi-autobiographical story based on Kamen's own life. As a teenager, he was beaten up by a gang of bullies. This prompted him to study martial arts in order to defend himself. His first teacher taught him a vicious martial arts style, which was brutal and aggressive. He later studied Okinawan Goju-Ryu karate, which he found a more complete style. The score for The Karate Kid was composed by Bill Conti, a frequent collaborator of director John G. Avildsen, since their initial pairing on Rocky. Joe Esposito's You're the Best, featured during the tournament montage near the end of the film, was originally written for Rocky III, but was rejected by Sylvester Stallone in favour of Eye of the Tiger. Pat Johnson was the fight choreographer, and he did a great job adapting his training to the actors. He trained them in different styles to suit their characters. Pat was ex-army and was a former student of Chuck Norris. He worked on many great martial arts movies and even appeared in the greatest, Enter the Dragon. He has a cameo in the film as the referee in the final tournament. The part of Daniel was offered to both Charlie Sheen and Sean Penn. Thank God they turned it down. Macchio was ultimately cast on the strength of his performance in The Outsiders. William Zabka is best known for his role as Johnny Lawrence. He's also been nominated for an Oscar for co-writing and producing a short film. He's now enjoying success as the star of the TV series Cobra Kai. Pat Morita is amazing in this film and should have won the Oscar for his performance. The original choice for Mr. Miyagi was Toshiro Mifune, who is a fantastic actor, but his limited English ruled him out. Daniel and Mr. Miyagi were supposed to be played by other actors. The director didn't want to do it, and the theme song was rejected from Rocky III. On paper, this film should have been a failure, but sometimes the movie gods smile on you, and this is one of those cases. We can all identify with Daniel's underdog character and the struggles we all face in our teenage years. Mr. Miyagi is the mentor, father figure we need during the challenging times of our lives. He is a representation of the tried and true wisdom of the past. There is respect for tradition, and dare I even say, patriarchy. On the face of it, this is an action martial arts movie, but what makes it a classic film are the actors' performances. The chemistry between all of them is amazing, especially between Pat Morita and Ralph Macchio. I love that the film also draws from the philosophical side of martial arts, which takes it to a deeper level. The making of this film is also a testament to hard work and dedication. They shot a dummy run of the film in its entirety before they shot for real, which gave the actors a real understanding of their characters. And the film was also shot in sequence, which is very rare with Hollywood movies. Although the film features a single mother, unlike films of today, it wasn't an attack on the nuclear family. Daniel has a wonderful mother, but the film shows the need for a father figure to achieve balance. The teaching of delayed gratification is mainly attributed to the influence of fathers, the ability to work hard and suffer today for a better tomorrow. Mr. Miyagi is a great mentor for the young Daniel. He encourages Daniel and ultimately helps him to find his own path. Mr. Miyagi's backstory was based on the true life experiences of Japanese Americans forced into internment camps by FDR's government during World War II. The loss of his family whilst he fought for America adds a depth to the story you rarely see in Hollywood movies. This section was almost cut from the film due to pacing issues. Thankfully, it was left in. It is the scene that gives the film its heart. The Karate Kid represented a return to balance back in 1984. The world needed Mr. Miyagi. We needed, amongst other things, focus, compassion and empathy. By the 2010s, this balance had shifted. Western culture was and still is in flux, and we need a recalibration. Elements of Cobra Kai's philosophy are now needed. The balance has shifted, and we need a realignment. If 1984 was a time to find the acceptance and understanding, in 2021 we need to defend our traditions and learn how to punch again. This is one of the reasons for the success of the TV show Cobra Kai. I must admit to outright terror when I heard they were going to make a Karate Kid TV show in this age of woke. Hollywood's track record with reboots and remakes in the last 10 years is woeful. But from the very heart of PC Culture Central sprang a truly unique show. While it may not be perfect, it does have something positive to say. It seems to be made by people who love the source material, and not least, it entertains. The appeal of this film has changed for me over time. I recently watched it with my kids and found myself seeing the film through the eyes of Miyagi instead of Daniel. The film highlights the importance of a positive father figure in a boy's life and how important it is for men to be involved in a child's upbringing. This film gets a 5 on the manly meter. Mr. Miyagi is possibly the greatest mentor in the history of cinema, imparting wisdom that stays with you long after the final credits. I still think of this film every time I paint the fence. And remember, don't forget to breathe.
You think I had a chance at winning?
Win, lose, no matter.
No, it's not what I mean.
I had good chance.
Well, can you fix my leg? I mean, with that thing you do?
No need fight anymore. You prove a point.
But what point? That I can take a beating? I mean, every time I see those guys, they're gonna know they got the best of me. I'll never have balance that way. Not with that.
This is the end of the line. You're telling me.